Hello, Belugan here. Today we're talking about FarmRPG and the Way Too Early Strategy Guide. So this game was just released about a week or so ago. Still kind of an alpha release, not officially released right now. This is another game by Firestream. This was initially developed as the Settlements update for Titan Conquest. But given the kind of rewards you got for doing it and the theme of it, Firestream decided it didn't really fit Titan Conquest, and so spun it off into its own game. So having said that, it's still really early right now. Most of the content isn't in here, but despite that, I wanted to dig into how the game works, what you can do, and just talk about some strategies that you can use for the moment to progress through the game. So there are 4 skills in FarmRPG. You have farming, fishing, crafting, and exploring. Now, when you first start out, crafting is not going to be available to you. You will have farming, fishing, and exploring that you can do. The first thing it's going to ask you to do is name your farm. I picked the wonderful name Carrot Farm before I even knew that carrots were your first crop you can plant. The layout of this is exactly like Titan Conquest, so if you have your window at a certain size, if you're on mobile, you're going to see this kind of a layout, and you hit the 3 dots to bring up the menu. If you go large enough, then you'll have the chat and the menus on the side all the time. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to leave it in this format. So let's talk about the skills really quickly and how they develop. So first of all, farming. So when you come home, there's places you can go. You can go to your farm, your inventory. Once you build it, you have your workshop, and this costs 1,000 silver to build initially. So silver is like drachma in Titan Conquest. Gold is kind of like ancient coins. It's a premium currency you can buy to get some things with or earn throughout the game. And then you have your town and exploring, which is where you can go fishing and exploring. So let's start with farming. So to farm, first you need to go to town. And there's a country store here. This is where you buy goods. Farmer's market is where you sell things that you have. Flea market is where you get special upgrades with gold. Sorry, that's farm supply, special upgrades with gold. Flea market has some specific items you can buy: lemonade, orange juice, and grape juice. We'll talk about those as we progress here a little bit. A bank where you can deposit silver and earn interest on it every single day. A museum where you can check your progress and see all of the information available in the game. And then the library, which is kind of like the wiki, with some limited information about how to play the game. So initially to start, you're going to come and level 1 farming, the only thing you're going to be able to get is pepper seeds. Oh, I guess carrot seeds are the second thing you plant. Yeah, I remember that. Maybe they're both available level 1, I don't recall off the top of my head. But we could find out really quick. If we come to the museum and come and click on carrots, it's going to tell us 20 silver. It can be sold for 20 silver. So when you have one fully grown, it comes that way. Let me come click on the seeds. Harvest every 2 minutes. Decided can be bought for 18 silver. Okay, so it's not telling me the level in here, and I have all of them currently unlocked. But basically the seeds take a longer amount of time the higher level they are before you can harvest them and sell them off for a profit. So you're going to come in here initially, buy some pepper seeds, then you're going to come to your farm, and you're going to plant them. And you're going to start off, I want to say it was 2 rows, maybe it was 3 rows, I can't remember how many rows there were initially you start off with of plants. You plant those, and then when they're done, you harvest them by either clicking on them, or if you have some of the premium options, you have this harvest all and sell all buttons at the bottom. And then you can go to the market and sell them for a small amount of profit. So that you can do initially, it just takes some time. Another thing you can do is explore, and these areas open up based on your exploration level, so I don't have the level 40 area unlocked just yet. But basically when you explore, you're going to start in a cave, you come, and it uses a stamina every time you explore. There are some perks that you can unlock that will make it take less stamina, and there's a % chance that you're going to find something every time you explore, and you get a bit of experience for it every time you explore. Now there are things you can do that will allow you to refresh stamina. So drinking an orange juice restores 100 stamina. Eating an apple restores a random amount between 4 to 16 is typically what I've seen for what it restores. So kind of an average of 10. And then you have the option where you can increase your stamina by spending gold for what your maximum is. I think you start off with 25 initially. So stamina recharges at a rate of 1 every even minute, I think, or maybe it was odd minute. It's basically every other minute. Now the things that you find when you can explore, you can either sell or you can use some of them for crafting specific things later on. The way fishing works is you have to buy bait from the country store, and it's kind of a mini game. So in this top field, you're going to have a fish show up, and you click on it, and then you got to click this dot, and that's basically how you catch a fish. And then it's going to pop up. Apparently I didn't get the dot. It'll pop up and tell you what you caught. Let's see. Let's try this again here. So this particular part I think is a lot easier on mobile than on mouse. It's really easy to have one finger tap the fish, another finger tap the bar on the bottom as it rotates around. And rather than chasing it, sometimes it's easier just to sit on an edge and wait till it gets there. So the higher the fishing level places are, the more types of fish get unlocked that sell for more gold. So notice that one a little bit faster. We got a yellow perch. So those are things you can do initially, fishing, exploring, and planting. Once you get 1,000 silver saved up, then at your farm there's upgrades you can buy. I've got all of these unlocked, so you can build your own farm pond, which has some unique fish in it. There's a catfish in it that sells more than even the level 20 area. Worm habitat grows bait every hour, and once you build these, then you can spend more to upgrade all of them. You have the workshop, which is where you do your crafting. You have a chicken coop, where you can buy chickens. The amount goes up every chicken you have. You can give them names, and you can pet the chickens, which increase their level. As their level goes up, they will lay more eggs. So I've got 30 chickens here. You notice I started off with Chicken Little, and then I conveniently named them 1 through 30. I'll come pet the rest of these later today. You have a cow pasture, which is very similar to the chicken coop, except it's with cows. Currently you cannot pet cows, but you can name them. There's achievements for naming them. A forest is an area you can explore. There's not a lot that's really useful in your own forest initially, but I'll show you where to find what actually drops in there. And then I didn't talk about the orchard. The orchard, you can plant trees, so apple trees, orange trees, and lemon trees. And I want to say it costs 10,000 silver to build this initially, or maybe it was 100,000, I can't remember. I think it's 10,000. And then you can plant trees, and they go up incrementally for every new tree that you plant. So this is where I have all my apples from my apple tree. And the orange trees, you need to craft a orange juice. You need 6 oranges, and then a glowing orb, which you get from things that you find in the level 15 exploration area. And then lemon juice, when you drink it, you just automatically find something. So that's been my strategy to help build up my ability to do a lot of exploring, was to get a ton of trees, basically. Enough that I can make orange juice and apple trees and then explore for a long time. All right, the other thing, before we dig into kind of strategies, how to min-max a little bit, as you level up, you have these perks unlocked. And basically you get a perk for every level. So at some point with 4 skills, the max level is 99, so you can have 396 points, is it? Something like that total distributed among everything on here. So there's perks that make your plants grow faster, give you a chance for double crop, save your bait when you fish, sell your items that you craft for more silver, crafting costs reduced, and wandering using less stamina, and then the center drink that makes your stamina refill every other minute. So every minute you gain a stamina. Basically doubles your rate. My recommendation would be to get these item negotiators first, because they are going to drastically increase the amount of profit that you are going to gain. I'll show a screenshot in here of crafting at some point, or we'll just talk about it and how to make a profit on that. After that, the quick farming is really good. I want to unlock more of these. The higher tier crops you have, the more valuable these become. And then you have the energy drink. I talked about that one's worthwhile as well. You can unlock all of these. It starts at 10 gold every time you do it. It increases 10 gold if you want to redistribute your points. You may hit a point where you're going to do that. You decide, I'm not going to craft. I just want to farm. So you might want to reset them and put all of them into farming. Or maybe you use them on bait stuff and you decide, this is kind of a waste. A single piece of bait's only 3 silver, so reducing the cost or losing one isn't a big loss. Maybe you really want to go into selling everything you catch for more silver. Additionally, for gold, when you go to town in the farm supply, there are things that make your crops grow faster. Here you can unlock for gold. Those are really good. Increase your return rate in banking, which is really good. And then increase the amount of silver that you get for items you sell is really important. Some of these other ones are kind of nice. Some of them are, if you have them, sure, why not? All right, when I come into the museum, it shows you everything that you've actually discovered. So I've got a lot of items I haven't actually discovered yet. And you can go to view location info, and here you can actually see what you can catch in all of the areas you have unlocked. So Tempest Lake, I've got trout, crappie, largemouth bass, perch, drum. So trout's the best fish in here. It sells for 35 silver. If I come and look at your farm pond, it has these catfish that sell for 75 silver in them. And then if I'm going to look at your own forest, you do have some unique things here with arrowheads and hides and bird eggs. I don't think those are anywhere else. Small cave, I still haven't found the bone. I think that's pretty rare. Highland Hills, you have amethyst beds, purple flowers. Most of these are used for crafting different things. The Cane Pole Ridge has the unpolished shimmering stone. You need 2 of these to make a polished stone, and you need 2 polished stones to make the glowing orb. So you need basically 4 of these for every 6 apples, or not apples, but oranges to make an orange juice to help you explore more. So that's kind of the math between knowing what to do there. And then Misty Forest, they're just unlocked, has unpolished rubies. If you get 2 unpolished rubies, you can make a polished ruby. You can use those to make a ring, which sells for a fair amount of silver. All right, so how do we actually go about making money in this game? So my recommendation would be, first of all, do your exploring and your farming and your fishing and save up at least 1,000 silver to unlock the workshop. Once you got the workshop unlocked, you need just enough silver to start crafting things. So I'm going to come into my inventory and we'll talk about what's worth making. So in my inventory, I've got quite a few things here. If I come to wood, this is something you find. You can use it to make boards. So boards you buy. You buy them for 5 silver each. And there are a couple things you can make from them. The 2 big things that you're going to care about, though, are buckets and wooden barrels. And the reason why, planks themselves you can't sell. You have to use them to make other things. You can make wooden boxes or sturdy boxes, but that means you got to have 6 planks. So you got to click crafting 6 times and then have enough to make the wooden box or the sturdy box based off of other materials. But buckets and wooden barrels, you can make each their own in 1 click. So buckets take 1 iron and 5 boards, and your wooden barrels take 10 boards, 4 iron, and 10 nails. Now the wooden barrels you can't get until your crafting level is level 10, but buckets you can do initially. So if we talk about the cost of making these, a bucket costs 90 silver, or you sell it for 90 silver. So the cost is 5 boards, at 5 each, that's 25 silver, and an iron, which is 50, so that's 75, plus there's 5 or 10 to make. I'm trying to recall off the top of my head. We'll look it up here in just a minute to actually craft. So you have the materials and then a small crafting cost. And then when you sell it, your profit was 10 or 15 silver per click, basically, that you're making. So that's going to be something you can actively do really, really fast. Now, how many you can make of these at once is based on your inventory size. So your inventory starts off, I want to say, at 99. You can increase that cap for gold. So I bought some gold, increased my cap to 799, so that I can make a lot of these at once, save some time from going back and forth. But even with the 99 cap, you can still do quite a few of these. So you need to have at least whatever the total cost was to make this, like less than 100 silver to make your first bucket, and then you can sell it for profit, and then you just rinse and repeat and recycle until you make a fair amount of money. Once you have enough money, what you're going to start doing is investing that in your upgrades in your farm by adding additional rows. The first one I'm going to say was 1,000, then 10,000, then 100,000, then 1,000,000, and then 10 million. And the next one is 100 million silver. Now the cool thing about this is you get farming experience by building these upgrades, and the rate that it goes at is 1 experience per silver that you spend in upgrading your farm. Now experience for all of your skills tracks pretty closely to Titan Talk Conquest. So my test on this, I just crafted like crazy. If I go and look at my profile, I just started making buckets as much as I could. I've crafted 72, almost 73,000 items, and I ranked up my crafting really, really high, and then used that money to buy my farm upgrades. So my test on this, I looked at where I was at with around level 35. I had about 1.7 million experience spent by the time you had the million upgrade and the other upgrades, and I had saved up 10 million silver. It took a couple days of crafting to do it. I said, okay, 10 million experience on top of this ought to put me about 51, something like that. No, about 11 million, sorry. Between 11 and 12 million experience. And then I bought the 10 million silver upgrade, and boom, instantly I was level 53. So it exactly follows these charts, which means 2 billion to get to level 99. That's probably going to take a while. Granted, we don't have all of the the content in the game yet, so I assume the high level content will probably be a little bit better as far as the rate, but it could just be a slow grind that takes a while. It depends on how Firestream wants to build the game. But if you look at the total level versus experience on path to level 99, wiki page and Titan Conquest, this is the same experience chart that gets used for everything else. So best I can tell, the experience you gain in other items, crafting, it's roughly 10 gold or 10 experience per silver piece you spend on crafting materials, I think. Fishing, I think it's roughly 10 experience per silver piece worth of fish that you catch, I think. And exploration, I want to say it's a flat amount, 10-15 experience per time that you explore, somewhere in there. I'm basing that roughly off of here. We can show you the math. So I've got level 30 exploring, and I'm really at the start of level 30. So if I look at the chart, level 30 puts me right around 975,000 experience. Those calculators not on screen. How many times I've actually explored? 7,629. That comes out at a rate of about 126 experience per time that you explore. I don't know if that's based off of items that you find or it's just raw exploring. It seems like your experience goes up every time you explore, whether you find something or not. Maybe it's boosted when you find things. You know, that we just don't know. It's a little bit of speculation at this point. But the cool thing about bumping your farming up to level 50 is you unlock the best plants, which are wheat. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this really quick. I've got room for 28 wheat, so I'm going to come to the town, country store. I'm going to buy 28 wheat. It's going to cost me about a little over 500,000 silver. Now I'm going to come in here, I'm going to buy in a flea market a grape juice. Once per day you can drink a grape juice that instantly makes all of your crops be ready to harvest. So I planted these cabbages last night when I knew I have enough time to get them all, so I'm going to harvest them. And we'll just sell all those. So my cabbage I get about 300,000 silver for. I'm going to plant all this wheat. I'm going to drink my grape juice for today. It's ready. Harvest all of that and sell them, and you'll notice this is going to sell for over 100 or over $1 million. So it's not quite double your rate. Now I've got 60% bonus on my selling from perks when I go to sell things, so that helps. Initially you won't get that much profit per item, but you'll get a fair amount. Now I can come back to town. We want to get more wheat growing. Normally this takes 24 hours to grow a piece of wheat, 28. You can type in the numbers there, you don't have to use a plus and minus. And come back and we'll plant these in my farm. And when I click on any of these, it's going to tell me how long, 14 hours and 24 minutes. So I've gotten this down from 24 hours to 14 and a half hours for planting. So I keep that growing. It's a decent amount of profit. I can reinvest this in trees or chickens or come throw it in the bank. And throwing it in the bank is what I'm going to work on now because I'm slowly saving for that 100 million item. So let me do that really quick. Let's just throw, not the museum, the bank. We're going to throw $1 million in here. Deposit, and I've got 2 million silver in the bank. And I have the perks unlocked, so I get 4% per day. So every million gets me an additional 40,000 silver. Then I'll show you how I do my crafting like crazy. You can have multiple tabs, one in the store and one in your workshop, but I just stick to one. So we're going to come to town, to the country store, come down to nails, and I do these in chunks of 70 or 75. So I'm going to buy 750 nails, 750 boards, and I'm going to buy 300 iron, and that's the numbers it works out to be 4-to-10 ratio of iron to boards and nails. Now when I have those, I come back, I'm going to go to my workshop, and I'm going to line up my wooden barrels just about so. And I'm going to make this just a little bit smaller. See if I can get it right in the right spot. Alright, I don't know what this is going to do in my recording because I have it set to the window, but I'm going to change my window size. Now mobile, you can just slide it in the right spot. Alright, a little bit taller than that. And what happens is my crafting button now is right on the confirm button. So I can just sit here and craft and confirm, not have to move my mouse. You know, if it's at the very top, you've got a lot of mouse movement being wasted going up and down, up and down, up and down. So I'm just going to click this until I can no longer craft wooden barrels. You notice, like with my shimmering stones, I've got some lemonade I can make. I could also make a looking glass. I think that's kind of a waste of your shimmering stones. I'm going to save those for oranges because I think my strategy is to try to find enough shimmering stones in the level, was it the 15 zone to the 20 zone, to use up all of my oranges and then explore the higher level area. I have a suspicion that the higher level areas give you more experience. We don't know that for sure yet. But the level 30 area doesn't have the shimmering stones. So my oranges would kind of go to waste. You can sell them for like 10 each or something like that, which is, you know, pittance. It's not a whole lot. All right, so the cool thing with these barrels is I make a pretty good profit, like 136 silver, something like that per barrel that I make. All right, so now we've got all this crafted. I come home, I come to the town, go to the farmer's market, and I come sell these. Now notice the price in here says I can sell it for 23k silver, but when I sell it, I'm actually gonna get more than that, 37k silver. So that's like almost triple what I spent to craft all these items. So it's a really, really good profit on these barrels, especially when you increase your silver price on that. So with that, then I just rinse and repeat. So I've got my investment back for what I put in my barrels plus a lot, and you just rinse and repeat, and you can do this as long as you want clicking. So a lot of this game is waiting with farming or waiting for your stamina to recharge. But the crafting, once you unlock that, you can go bonkers and do that 24/7 with no limit and just build up your silver as fast as you can, and use that to really rocket your farming level way up. All right, with that, we'll wrap that up. That's a quick introduction to FarmRPG and some quick strategies for now with the content in the game to kind of get yourself going. And hopefully that will be helpful. And who knows, you know, next week everything could be different. We'll see. We'll stay on top of it. Thanks for watching.